So go ahead and go to page 43 in your grammar books. Page 43. 43. We'll just keep an eye on things, see if anybody else has a chance to come in this morning. All right, this is going to be an easy lesson because basically we're talking about numbers here. This is page 43 in grammar. And basically what you're going to do from now on is spell out numbers that can be expressed in one or two words, like 12 and 100. See, 12 is one word. It's actually a word. And then 100 is two words. So in this book, they're going to put numbers in here now. And rather than just having the regular, excuse me, hold on. Whoa, sorry about that. All of a sudden my throat got dry. Okay, anyway, they're going to put like this example here. Timmy met 9 other mice on the second day. Instead of the number or the numeral 9, you're just going to cross it out and write the word 9 above it. And then for the word second, you're going to spell out second. So those are ordinal numbers. Those need to be spelled out too. Now, in your KWO that you do, or your story sequence chart, it's okay to use numbers. And like for second to do 2ND, that's okay. But when you go to write your stories or in this grammar book, they need to be spelled out. And then there's a comma rule here. It says a comma is used to separate items in a sentence. In week 5, you learned 2 comma rules. So if you just have a A and B, if it's 2 words you're connecting, like 2 nouns or 2 adjectives or 2 verbs, you don't need a comma. But if you have 3, A, B, and C, you do need a comma between. So they're going to forget the commas on purpose just for you guys to figure out. Here's your example. It says the cook opened the basket, saw Timmy, and screamed. So the cook did 3 things: opened, saw, and screamed. That's what the coordinating conjunction is connecting. But since it's 3 things, you need commas in between. Any questions about this page? You guys have any questions? Okay. So let's turn to the next page, and Sydney's here. I see Julio. Good morning, Julio. We're on page 44 right now, so you can turn to that page. This is basically think about it. It does say you learned that coordinating conjunctions, those are those fanboys words, are used to connect items. If the CC connects 2 items in a series, you should not use a comma. However, if it connects 3 or more items, you should use a comma. So, and we kind of just went over that, but this is a little bit more practice with that. So 2 items like this one, the cook grabbed the broom and stomped her foot. And is the coordinating conjunction. It's connecting the 2 verbs, grabbed and stomped. Since she's just doing 2 things, there's no comma. Here we have 3 things. The cook grabbed the broom, stomped her foot, and jumped on the chair. So now we have grabbed, stomped, and jumped. So since she's doing 3 things, there's commas in there. What about 4 things? Here she goes. The cook grabbed the broom, stomped her foot, jumped on the chair, and yelled for help. Now we have grabbed, stomped, jumped, yelled. 4 things. That's where the commas go in between. After each thing she does, there's a comma. Can anybody think of a 5th thing that maybe she did? What's a 5th thing that maybe she did? She already grabbed the broom, stomped her foot, jumped on the chair, and yelled for help. What else could she do? Any ideas? Christopher, do you have an idea?
Run away.
And run away. There you go. She could just grab the broom, stomped her foot, jumped on the chair, yelled for help, and ran away. So see how the commas go right after what she did. Okay, you guys, let's go on to the practice page now. Anybody feel like reading the sentence today? Actually, there's two sentences. Megan, I see your hand. Go ahead when you're
All
ready.
right. He dropped onto a wooden table. It was set for 10 mice. The glasses, platters, and plates shattered.
Nice. Okay, we got some drama happening now. Stuff's happening. Shattered. We know what that means. Like if glass shatters, it basically breaks into little tiny pieces. So that's what that is. It's a verb. But let's check the vocabulary. Shattered. We know what that means. And you can go ahead and jump right into those articles. Go ahead and find the articles and label those by yourself. AR. And then how about Christopher? Help us find those nouns.
Mice,
Good.
glasses,
Good.
platters,
Yes.
plates,
Yes.
and table.
Good. Yes. Five nouns. Very good. And then London, when you're ready, how about the pronouns? There's two pronouns here.
Um, he
Good. He.
and it.
Good. Yes. It. So that's talking about the table. Obviously, the table's not a boy or a girl, so we're going to use it for that one. Two adjectives, Olivia. Where are the adjectives describing some of the nouns?
Wooden,
Good. That's one of the adjectives.
shattered,
Nope, that's going to be a verb. So there's a word that tells how many mice.
pen.
Yes, but we need to spell it, right? We just learned about that today too. So how do we spell 10, Olivia?
Pen.
Ten. And then we're going to put ADJ on top of that. Good job. Because that's telling how many. And then the coordinating conjunction, Julio.
It's and.
Good, yes. And I'm glad you didn't say four, but you know the F in fanboys is four. But it has to connect words. And in this sentence, the word for is not connecting anything. Like here, we've got glasses, platters, and plates. It's connecting those nouns together. So sometimes for functions as a preposition, and that's what it's doing here. So just wanted to point that out. And you're right, and is the CC for this part. I kind of gave away one of the prepositional phrases, but we'll come back to that. So how about Sydney? Can you tell us all the subject verb pairs in here? He is the subject, and then what is he doing?
Rock.
Good, dropped. And then what? Next sentence, what's the subject?
Mice,
No, what's it talking about? What was set for 10 mice?
the wooden table.
Yeah, but that's not in the sentence, so it's a pronoun, this one here.
It
Yeah, so it, because it has to be in its own sentence, right? So it is the pronoun in that sentence, and then there's two verbs in that sentence.
was set.
There you go. Good. Was set. Now look at the last sentence. What's the subject here? It's a tricky one. There's actually three subjects in this sentence.
Platters and and plate.
Yes, there you go. There's three subjects, three things. And what did all three things do? What's the verb? I think you said it shattered. Very good. Nice. Those are the subject verb pairs. Nice. Okay, back to you, Megan. What about the prepositional phrases?
Four
And then what's the whole phrase?
for 10 mice.
Good. For 10 mice is one. The other one,
Onto a wooden table.
onto a wooden table. That's it. Those two. Good job. See, I like to save those for the end because they're easier to spot. Capitals, you can do that part by yourself. Just there's three sentences here. Make sure that after the period, make those capital. And then Christopher, what about the comma rule? We put some in or take some out. What do we need to do for that?
Glasses and platters.
So after or between glasses and platters right there. And then
And between platters and.
yes, good. Because there's three nouns here, glasses, platters, and plates. By the way, platters is like a big plate where you serve something on. Like for Thanksgiving, you put the turkey on a big platter, like a big plate. Okay, those are the commas. End mark is just a period, and we already fixed the number 10. Good job, you guys. Are there any questions about the grammar homework or the grammar lesson today? Anything about grammar that you need to ask me? Okay, hopefully grammar is pretty easy for you. If you get stuck on something on your list, skip it and then come back to it. But another thing I really want you to remember is when you sit down to do your homework, read the sentence out loud. That will help you. Okay, so don't just get started on your list. You got to read it out loud and then look for the parts. All right, you guys. So we're done with grammar for today. And then this last week, I canceled class last week because I was doing the Harvest Festival and I had a lot going on and I couldn't get the class, I couldn't do the classes last week. So hopefully you guys give me a thumbs up if you were able to watch the video and do the homework. Okay, good. I think pretty much everybody did. Okay, good. Yay. So you wrote about eating together. And we can listen to two people read their papers about eating together. Hi, Camila. I kind of see you like in and out right there. Olivia, do you want to read yours? Okay, Olivia wants to read hers. Anybody else want to read theirs about eating together? Nobody's jumping up and down. That's okay. Maybe some of you are still finishing that up, but okay, Olivia. I'll write that down. Go ahead. Do you have it in front of you, your paper? Okay. You do. Okay. So before she reads though, hold on just one more second. Did you guys remember to use your checklist? Now you kind of had a lot of stuff on your checklist this time. Oh, good. Olivia's like, she's on it. Megan, I see that. So your checklist has ly adverb, who, which clause, strong verb, and because clause. You have 4 words in each paragraph now that you need to underline. And don't forget with the because clause, don't use because of. We'll talk about that a little bit more, but don't use of next to because. Don't say because of, because that changes it to a prepositional phrase. Otherwise, it needs to be because blank, like why something is the way it is. And then the other thing that's on your checklist now, you probably saw it, is the topic clincher rule. Do you guys remember that from last year? Topic clincher. All right, well, let's practice it. Hold on, Olivia. Let's practice topic clincher rule. You can stay muted because otherwise it's really echoey, but everybody use the hands like this, okay? And say it with me. I want to see your mouths saying it with me. So Sydney, get ready. Okay, ready? The topic sentence and the clincher sentence must repeat or reflect two or three key words. You guys remember it from last year? Good. Everybody's nodding. Christopher, he's like, I think so. Do you remember it, Christopher? Kind of? Sort of? Yes, so that is important now to keep in your paragraphs, and you have to either highlight those words or bold those words. We'll go over your checklist in a minute, but okay, Olivia, when you're ready, tell us your title and go ahead and read your story.
Odd celebration meals.
Hmm.
People have been experiencing the benefits of sharing food with others for thousands of years. Mealtimes can be very special because you can talk to your family or you can make new friendships. In 2012, teens admitted that home-cooked food is healthier than fast food. Did you know that students who dine together with their family, it's most likely they can learn easier? Young people who dine together with their family are less likely to grow to be overweight. Ireland celebrates New Year's with special foods. All these foods contain green herbs. Did you know that the United Kingdom, who has a weird holiday called Burns Night because they celebrate Scottish poet Robert Burns? They celebrate it by eating Burns' favorite dish. Korea also has a festival and they oddly sell pancakes that include fish. They also sell sweet potatoes and a noodle meal.
Nice. Good job, Olivia. Woohoo, you guys know what to do. I heard those dress up words in there. I even heard the topic clinchers. You remembered that, talking about the benefits, right? And then some celebrations. Did you remember to highlight those words too? Or bold them? Not yet? That's okay. I haven't had a chance to grade everybody's homework yet, but I heard it in there. So good job. Very good. All right, you guys. So since okay, let me say this. If you have not finished your eating together paper yet, keep it in your front pocket until you're finished with it, okay? If you are finished with the paper eating together, you can put it away in your finished um binder or folder, wherever you're keeping your finished stuff. By the way, the yellow page though, that yellow page needs to go behind the model charts and outlines. This one, let me show you what I'm talking about. This yellow page right here from Eating Together, put this one behind the tab that says model charts and outlines, okay? It's toward the back of your binder. You should see other yellow pages back there. Go ahead and stick it behind the yellow pages. And then you're going to get out the next lesson, which is week 8. Uses for salt. You're going to get out 1, 2, 4 pages for uses for salt. And you need a piece of lined paper. Okay, so get out week 8 and a piece of lined paper. Okay, when you're ready, give me a thumbs up. Week 8, good, I see that. Good, okay. And lined paper when you're ready. Okay. 4 pages of week 8 and lined paper. So let's look at, we have a new tan page here. Let's look at that one. And guess what? We have more banned words. Wah, wah, wah. That's okay. We can handle it, right? Easy peasy cheesy. Now, our other banned words page is blue. Remember that one? We worked on that a couple weeks ago. Those were verbs. This one is actually going to be adjectives. So the banned words, it says up here, banned words list, and then it says adjectives here. So these are words that describe. The first one we're going to ban, and you can write it big in the middle of this because it's just one word. It's good. And then next to it, we're going to put bad like that. Okay. So instead of doing like seesaw, like we had two words in each box up here, these are adjectives. It's just one way to say it. Verbs have like present tense and past tense, but this is good and bad. So now you can't use good and bad anymore because they're boring. We need to come up with better words. So for fun, let's just start with the word bad, and then we can end on a good note, right? So think about bad. This is going to go underneath bad. What are some other words? Sydney, what's another word we could use?
Terrible.
Terrible. Good. You can raise your hand if you think of one. London.
Depressing.
Oh yeah, depressing. That's a good one. Christopher, did you have one too?
Dangerous.
Okay, dangerous. We could use that. How about Megan? I saw your hand. Did you think
Awful.
awful? Good one. Awful. Any more? London.
Horrible.
Horrible. That's a good one. What if something tastes bad? You could say it tastes nasty. Something tastes or gross, right? Christopher, you got another one?
Disgusting.
Disgusting. I think that's pretty, my list is full. We'll stop there. But that's not all of them. There's others. Okay, so when you're writing, don't use bad anymore. Okay, now let's end on a good note and let's talk about the word good. What are some words that we could use in place of good? Sydney. Wait, say it again. Great. Olivia.
Awesome.
Awesome. I love that one. London.
Excellent.
Excellent. Christopher.
Spectacular.
Ooh, spectacular. Megan.
Amazing.
Amazing. Ooh, these are good. Sydney, another one?
Marvelous.
Marvelous. Let me zoom in so you guys can see that. Christopher?
Joyful.
Joyful. And London.
Fantastic.
Fantastic. Wow, you guys, you got this. Fantastic. There you go. I'll give you a second to write all those down. I know my light is glaring a little bit there. There we go. My list is full, but like I always say, there's lots more. So if you ever want to use like a thesaurus to help you come up with a different one, if you're not happy with one of these, look up the word good and see if you can find the one you want. But from now on, no more good and bad. Got to use one of these other words. Okay, give me a thumbs up when you got them all written down. Good. I see that. Okay, the next thing we're going to do, I see that thumbs up. Good. Okay, looks like everybody's done. Let's get out your lined paper next. This one. And we're going to take some notes. I know I talked about it in the recording last time, but I want to make sure to talk to you guys about it in person, well, at least on Zoom anyway, to make sure you understand. But go ahead and put your name here and your date. Today is 10/27/25. So go ahead and write that down. This week, we're going to talk about summarizing a reference. So we did a little bit last week, but summarizing a reference. And by the way, a reference is like where you find your information. It could be a book, it could be a magazine, it could be something from the internet, a place where you find information. This is writing about real facts. Okay, this is a little different than making up a story. We're writing about real events, real facts, real information. But remember that word summarizing, just underline the SUM part. We talked about this last year. Yes, London?
Today's the 28th.
Oh, thank you. I'm off on my date. All right, I'm gonna have to change that. 28. Thank you. Whoa. What happened to the 27th? I don't even know. Summarizing. See that prefix sum right here? It reminds us of math. Julio, I don't know if your computer's just being weird or if something weird is happening.
Yeah, it's not, our computer actually messed up. That's why I was late.
Oh, okay. It was being weird.
What I just do is flip my screen and then flip it back over.
Oh, yeah, I see that. Okay. So there's a better way we should spell this. Remember how we used to do this last year? Draw an arrow down and let's put SOME. When you summarize something, you're telling some of the information. Remember how we talked about that last time? So let's say like this week we're going to learn about salt. And when you're studying about salt, you might find like 50 things about salt, but you really only have to write about 5 things. So remember how last year we talked about this funnel? Go ahead and draw that on your paper too. So let's say 20. Let's put 20 up there. Let's say when we read this article, we find 20 facts about salt. Might even be more than that. But really, when you're narrowing it down at this part of the bottom of the funnel where it's smaller, you only need 5. So if you're reading about salt and you learn all this stuff, you have 20 things about salt, but you only need to write about 5. You're only writing about some of them. How are you going to know what to pick of the 20? How do you know what facts you're going to choose? Do you remember how to decide that, London?
The things that are interesting to us.
Yes, I love it. Yes, interesting. I think that's the most important thing to look at. What is the most interesting? And then there's a couple of other things to look for too. You remember those other 2 words? Megan?
Most fat.
Most fact. Yeah, I think what you're thinking of is like maybe relevant. If it's relevant, that means like if you're talking about Japan, maybe you're doing a report on Japan, maybe something relevant would be like the food in Japan or like where Japan is located in the world or something like that. And then there's one more word for things that we look for, and it's important. those two kind of go together, relevant and important. That just means like, what do we think we need to know about it? Like writing about salt. What are some things we need to know about salt? And then, but like I said, interesting, those interesting facts. I think that's most important because if you think it's interesting and you write about it, the person reading your paper is probably going to think it's interesting too. And that makes it more fun to write about. And then down below here, just skip a space under that. Let's put subject. And that is going to be about uses for salt. And then we're going to put the word topics. Now remember, those are your paragraphs. Okay, so your subject is like what your whole paper is about. And then your topics are those paragraphs. And then we're going to fill that in later, but those are the paragraphs, the uses for salt. Like what are we going to talk about for the uses of salt? All right. Now just turn your page over to the back side. So I want you to turn your notes to the back and let's set up your keyword outline back here. And let's just start with Roman numeral 1 and then 1 through 5 here. Go ahead and set up your keyword outline so we can get this ready. 5 is going to be in parentheses because you don't have to have 5, but if you need 5, you can use 5. Okay, so you have to have 4. 5 is optional. And then let's put that word clincher here. And then remember how we used to do this last year? Put topic up here. So this is like, this paragraph is you're gonna choose a topic to write about. Skip a line. We're gonna do this for Roman numeral 2 and 3. Okay, so I'm gonna do it like this. And you guys just write it down, copy it down. I'll give you a chance to catch up here in a second. Don't forget that word clincher. And then 3. Okay, so that's it. After you got that down, give me a thumbs up. Good. Some of you guys are fast. I see that. Good. Okay, good. And Christopher, you're good? Okay. So, did you guys notice that this article about salt looks a little bit different than what we normally have? Normally we see paragraphs, but this one is like a list. This is totally different than what we normally use. So this is kind of fun. It's written more like a list, so it's not a paragraph style, but we're going to turn this into 3 paragraphs. So what we're going to do is read each one of these, and we need to label each one in a category. And I'll show you what I mean as we go. But it says 20 useful or unusual uses for salt. So 20 unusual uses for salt. And this is real facts. It's pretty interesting. You might want to try some of these things too. The first one, number 1, says kill poison ivy. Add 3 pounds of salt to a gallon of soapy water and spray it on the plant. That's one way to get rid of poison ivy. Have you guys ever heard of poison ivy before? Yeah, you don't want to touch it. It makes you itchy for sure. So this one is talking about plants. So what I want you to do next to the number 1 up here, let me turn this light off so you can see it better. Ah, that's a little better. Hold on, let me get this so you can see it. There. Ah, too bright. Next to number 1, I want you to put a P and a circle around it because that's talking about plants. And then at the top here, at the very top of your page, put a P equals plants, just so we can keep track, like a little key here, just to keep track of how we're going to label this stuff, okay? Number 2, soothe bee stings. Wet the sting immediately and then cover it with salt. It will feel better. Bee stings. I'm going to put a B for that one, and we're going to call this one bugs. I know this is different. Just hang in there with me. It'll make sense as we go. Number 3 says cleaning baked on food from pans. Spread salt on the baked on food, moisten the area with water, and wait for the salt to loosen the food. Interesting. You could use it like for cleaning. Let's call this one C. And we'll do C up here for cleaning. You'll see some of these will repeat. Okay, so don't worry. Number 4, let me know if I'm going too fast. Okay, you guys. Number 4 says kill grass or weeds in concrete cracks or between patio stones. Sprinkle salt on the cracks, wait a few days, and then pour hot water over the unwanted vegetation. Ah, that's not a bad idea. So you can use salt to kill weeds. Well, weeds are kind of a plant, so I'm going to put a P with this one. See, I have a P for number 1 and 4 now, so those kind of are the same category together. And I already have it up here at the top, so I don't need to write that again. So I've got, that's a P for plant. Number 5, test for rotten eggs. Place 1 tablespoon of salt in a cup of water and stir. A fresh egg will sink, but a rotten egg will float. Weird, huh? So if you don't know if your eggs are good anymore, you can do that little test to see if it's good. But this has to do with food. So I think I'm going to call this one F with a circle over it. This is number 5. And if you have space somewhere on the top, let's do that one. F equals food. You guys doing okay? You have any questions for me? Oh, yeah. If it stinks, you have a salty egg. Oh, if it sinks, you have a salty egg. That's true too, Christopher. Oh, Olivia, if you want to, I'm just catching up on my messages here. If you want to stay on after the end of class, I can help you organize your binder. Okay, if you have time. Okay. All right, moving on to number 6. Clean up a broken egg. If you drop an egg on the floor, cover the mess with salt. Wait 20 minutes. The salt will absorb moisture and make it easier to wipe up the egg. I don't know about waiting 20 minutes. Your mom would be like, why are you waiting so long to clean up your mess? But hey, maybe it would work. That's cleaning. Let's call this C for cleaning. Okay, we're going to keep going. Refresh your sponges. Soak a grungy sponge overnight with salt, a salt solution, about 1/4 cup per quart of water to refresh your sponge. That's like cleaning your sponge. You know how sometimes the dishes, the sponge you use for dishes gets really stinky? I usually throw it away and get a new one, but you could clean it. Let's put C for cleaning on that one. That's to clean your sponge. Number 8, deodorize your sneakers. Sneakers are your tennis shoes, right? If your sneakers get stinky, which can easily happen if you wear them without socks in the summer, Sprinkle a little salt on the shoes to absorb the moisture. There you go. Now that's for odor. So let's call this one O for odor. Put a O, it looks like a little donut, but anyway, put a O with a circle around it, and let's do that at the top if you have room, or squeeze it somewhere on your paper. O equals odor. Yes, Sydney.
I don't think that's gonna make your shoes smell better.
Wait, say that again. It was hard to hear you.
I don't think that's gonna make your shoes smell.
Oh, I don't know. Should we try it? Maybe you should try it on your brother's shoes. Could do a sample. Number 9, ant deterrent. To stop a line of ants from marching into your home, sprinkle salt across their path. Hey, didn't know that one. That's B for bugs. It's a bug. Ant deterrent. And mosquito or chigger bite. Have you guys ever heard of a chigger before? No. That we don't have them in California, but they do have them in Oklahoma. I went to go visit my daughter, and they're little red bugs, and they bite, and they are like mosquitoes where they make you itch, and they're really small bugs. But it says soak the affected area in salt water and then apply a coating of vegetable oil or lard. That's weird, but that's going to be B for bugs, okay? So you guys see the pattern here? We're labeling each thing in these categories that we wrote above here. We got plants, bugs, cleaning, food, and odor so far, but guess what? There's more on the back. So turn it over. We got more. There's a lot. Brass or copper polish. This is number 10. Make a paste with equal parts salt, flour, and vinegar. Use a soft cloth to spread the paste over the tarnished areas, then rinse the soapy water and buff the object to a shine. This is going to be cleaning, so let's put C for cleaning. It's a type of metal. Yes, Julio?
Um, you know the ants deterrent?
Yeah?
Um, that actually works for a lot of other bugs too, like snails too.
Oh, yeah. Snails. I know about snails and salt. It's not a very nice thing to do, but yeah. Extend broom life. Soak a straw broom in a bucket of salty water for about 20 minutes. It will last longer. Interesting. So this would be like cleaning, I guess, cleaning a broom. Yes, Megan?
You're going too fast.
Okay. Which one are you on right now?
Here, let me just show you.
You're on the front?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and turn it over to the back. And I'll stay on the Zoom afterwards and then I'll let you catch up, okay? But go ahead and put
All
C
right.
by 11 and 12.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Remind me at the end and I'll turn it back over. I just want to make sure you guys have at least all of these marked so you know what you're going to write about this week. This one says clean artificial flowers. The artificial flowers are like fake flowers. But this is telling how to clean them. So let's put C for cleaning on that one too. Energizing fresh flowers. Did you know you can make those last longer with salt? So that's like a plant, right? Fresh flowers would be like a plant. Vacuum muddy footprints. That would be cleaning, right? C for cleaning. I know I'm going fast. I'm sorry, Megan. Just copy down the letters here. That'll help you. Make non-drip candles. I'm gonna slow down for here for a second. Soak new candles for 2 hours or more in a strong salt solution. Then, as they burn, they will not drip and create a mess. Now, this one doesn't really fit in any categories that we have so far. It's not a plant, it's not cleaning, it's not food, it's not bugs, it's kind of its own thing, right? So we're going to actually call this M for miscellaneous. Have you guys ever heard that word miscellaneous before? No, it just means it doesn't really have a category. Miscellaneous. And at the top of the back page here, let's do M equals, and it's abbreviated MISC period. So I'm abbreviating it. And that just stands for miscellaneous. It's got its own category. It's like odd, separate than everything else. It's its own thing here. Okay, and then 17, keep milk fresh. That's going to be a food item, right? Pinch of salt in a quart of milk and shake it. It will stay fresh longer and perhaps even taste better. I haven't tried that yet. I'll have to try that. But let's put F for food by that. Brighten your face. Here you go. This is interesting. Massage your face with a mixture of salt and olive oil. Check with your parents before you do that. The oil moisturizes the skin, and the salt cleans dead skin cells. Be sure to wash it off. There you go. Salt and oil. Like I said, check with your parents first. Don't just go in there because they'll be like, what are you doing? Putting salt on your face. This is kind of miscellaneous too, right? It doesn't really fit with anything else. It's not a food. It's not cleaning. I mean, it's kind of cleaning your face, but I'm going to call this a miscellaneous too. So M for that one. Control sink odor. You know how sometimes the kitchen sink gets stinky? This would be an odor one. O for odor. And then keep windows free of frost. You know what frost is like in the wintertime? It happens up here a lot because we get really cold temperatures up here in Tehachapi. But when you put salt on your windows, it'll keep it from freezing. Like it won't frost up. We don't really have that problem so much in California, but other places. But this is another miscellaneous thing. So let's put M here. All right, we made it. We made it to 20. Yay. Now, your goal this week, these are all your topics. Okay, let me turn this over and Megan, you can go ahead and write these last ones here on the front side. Whoops. There we go. And then let me zoom out a little bit. So you guys have up here at the top of your paper, these are your topics. You've got P for plants, B for bugs, C for cleaning, F for food, O for odor, and then on the back of your page, you have an M miscellaneous, right? So you got lots of choices of topics. But remember, you're only going to choose 3 topics. So you're going to decide what 3 topics you want to write about for the uses of salt. What do you guys think we should pick? Go ahead and put in the chat what topic you want your first paragraph to be about. You can write it in the chat what you want to put, like what part about salt do you want to write about in your first paragraph? What topic do you want to choose? Okay, Christopher says food. How to use it with food. What do you guys think? Food. Oh, Megan says food. How to use salt with your food. And Julio says plants. There's a lot of choices for that one. Olivia's going to do plants. London, odor. Okay. So here's what you guys are going to do. On your outline, at the top of your page here on the back, this is your outline. Let's put at the top here, uses for salt. And at Roman numeral 1, I want you to put the word salt. And then you put what topic you're going to choose. I'm going to choose food, but if you want to write about odor or plants, you put what you want to put here next to that. We're only going to have 2 words on your Roman numeral. And then down here for this part, you're going to do 2 things. I'm going to show you with food. So if you want to start off with food, go ahead and copy mine. I'm okay with that. So looking back on our list, I see number 5 has an F for food. And what else? Number 17. There's only 2 things that have an F for food, right? Let's start with number 5. Number 5 says test for rotten eggs. Okay, that's pretty easy. I'm going to put test rotten eggs. If you are writing about plants, look for the P and then come up with 3 words for that category, for that thing to use salt for with plants, okay? You guys have any questions for me? Because I know this is different. Let me know if you have any questions. So for me, since I'm doing food here, test for rotten eggs. And then it says, place 1 tablespoon of salt in a cup of water and stir. A fresh egg will stink, but a rotten egg will float. How can I put that in my outline? And Christopher, what do you think? How can I put how to do that in my outline for number 2? I'm only using 3 words, but I can use pictures and symbols. How am I going to explain that for number 5?
The TBSP.
Okay, so like the number 1 and then TBSP for tablespoon. Good. And then what else? For salt, could we do like circle the S right here? 1 tablespoon and just do S like that for salt. And then, oh, go ahead.
Rotten sink. Wait, rotten flow.
And then rotten float. Yeah, but we probably need to mention the water, right? How could we do 1 cup of water?
A cup of water.
Maybe the number 1. And then you're saying like draw a cup of water? Could do that. That's water. That's a cup of water. Or you could do like C, 1 cup of water, something like that. And then you said if it floats, it's rotten. So maybe float or egg, float, rotten. Did I spell that right? E-N. I didn't spell that right. R-O-T-T-E-N. All right, so I did a bunch of symbols and letters and stuff. So I got 1 tablespoon salt, 1 cup water, egg, float, rotten. And then if you're writing about food in your first paragraph, The other one that talked about food was on the back. It is number 17 about keep milk fresh. So we can do that for number 3. Keep milk fresh. And then it tells us how. So for number 4, we're going to show how. You see how I'm using 2 numbers here to explain something? You're going to group these together, like 1 and 2, they go together. And then 3 and 4, they go together. So this is about the rotten eggs and then how to decide if your egg is rotten. And then this one's about keeping milk fresh and how to keep milk fresh. You see that? Keeping milk fresh, it says add a pinch of salt. This is number 17. To a quart of milk and shake well. It will stay fresher longer and perhaps even taste better. So we could do something like pinch, S for salt. We know we're talking about milk, so maybe, and then shake. And then fresh, and then maybe like a long line, fresh, long, maybe with an arrow. It'll stay fresh longer, something like that. All right, so you guys are going to decide now for topics 2 and 3. You're going to put salt, and then whatever your next topic is here, and then salt, and then your next topic here. So it could be about food. No, we already did food. If you did food, pick 2 other topics. Plants, bugs. Okay, I know there's questions. Do you guys have any questions about what your homework is? I recorded this class if you need to go back and watch it. I'm okay with that. I'll post it on your Google Classroom. You're going to explain how to use salt. Now, I want to explain something else to you really quick. Don't forget about your topic clinchers in your checklist. I am going to attach to your homework a list. It's going to look like this. I'm going to put it in your Google Classroom, and this list is ideas on how to transition between facts, right? So you can use words like, let me show an example. In the first place, or something like as a result. There's some ideas on this list of how to transition between the uses of salt and how you can use salt in different ways, okay? You can use this list if it helps you. I'll attach it to your Google Classroom. I need Olivia's going to stay on, and Megan, you can stay on for a few minutes, but the rest of you are free to go. Have fun writing this, and I'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye, you guys.
I don't know why my screen's like that though.
I don't know.